Hi, my name is Emanuele Colombo. I'm a professional motion designer and animator from Italy, and today I'm going to teach you about the principles of animation. The principles of animation were first introduced by two Disney animators, Olney Johnston and Frank Thomas, in their book The Illusion of Life, which was released in 1981. In this book, Johnston and Thomas examined the work of the leading Disney animators from the 1930s and summed up their approach into 12 basic principles. These principles now form the basis of all animation work. Many refer to it as the Bible of animation, and they are relevant for a number of different fields. The most obvious use is for animating a character, but these rules are also useful in all sorts of motion design, like animating text, animating brand logos, and even animating user interfaces. To help us understand the 12 principles, let's see some examples. The first one is squash and stretch. Squash and stretch gives the illusion of weight and volume as something moves. This is done by slightly expanding and compressing forms. This principle is arguably the most important because it really gives a clear sense of gravity as a character moves. The second principle is anticipation. Anticipation is used to let the audience know that a major action is about to take place. To do this, animators will often work in a smaller action or two right before the major action to signal that something is coming and get the audience excited. The third principle is follow-through and overlapping action. Follow-through is the idea that when something is moving and stops, nothing stops all at once. This is a key for adding realism to the scene, giving the impression that an object responds to the laws of physics. So when a character is running and stops, their main body will stop, but the other parts of their body will keep moving for a bit after. The fourth principle is arcs. Almost all action in life have a slightly circular motion, and animation should stick to the same principle. When you move your arm or wave your hand, you rarely do it in a perfect straight line. The fifth principle is slow in and slow out. Slow in and slow out refers to the tendency things have to start and stop moving gradually. This is another one designed to add realism to the movement of characters. When something is performing an action, you will draw more frames at the start of the action, less in the middle, and more again at the end of the action, to create this easy in and easy out effect. The sixth principle is timing. This is a technical one. Timing refers to a number of drawings or frames for a given action, which translates to the speed of the action itself. By adjusting the timing of a scene, animators can make that scene look either slower and smoother with more frames, or faster and crispier with less frames. The seventh principle is secondary action, little movements that are not essential but that helps to add meaning to an action. The eighth principle is exaggeration. Exaggeration presents an action in an extreme form for a comedic or dramatic effect. It tries to overstate to evoke a point without ruining the believability of the scene. The ninth principle is staging. Staging is the principle that directs the audience's attention towards the most important elements in a scene. The 10th principle is straight-ahead action and pose-to-pose. These are two different techniques used in frame-by-frame animation. Straight-ahead action is where you draw each frame one after another. With pose-to-pose, you draw the extremes, the beginning and end drawing of an action, and then you go on the middle frame and start to fill the frames in between. Straight ahead is better for creating fluid, realistic actions, while pose-to-pose is more effective for dramatic or emotional scenes, where it's more about conveying an idea than a sense of realness. The 11th principle is solid drawing. Solid drawings is all about making sure that animated forms feel like they are in a three-dimensional space, even though they are shown in two dimensions. The last principle is appeal. Animators should strive to create something interesting and compelling to audiences.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe to stay up to date on all of our latest videos.